Greetings, fellow test subjects. Test subject 1337 here for Aperture Gaming. They make it. We test it. You play it. Now, here at Channel Pirate Captain Jeff, we have been doing this since February of 2010, but Aperture Gaming hasn't been doing didn't start doing game reviews until February of 2013. So 7 years of game reviews and 10 years total here on YouTube. And as we approach February of 2021, we want to thank everyone here who has been watching my videos. If you've been liking them, subscribing to my channel, commenting on the videos. Yeah, so whether you be a long time watcher or if you just recently started watching, we thank you. We thank you for your time, your views, and your support. Now, since we've been doing 7 years of game reviews, I've noticed I have not done an end of the year review or show, and as we've bid a not so fond farewell to the previous year, which I shall try not to mention by name. So yeah, we'll be doing the first annual, hopefully annual, Aperture Gaming Game Review Awards. Our lucky winners will take home, not really, this imaginary representation of the Golden Controller. Ooh! Yeah, so who's gonna win the Golden Controller? So basically I have over 7 years of content to be reviewing, but I'll be trying to make this review as quick as possible because, well, reasons. Alright, so without further ado, let's get to the awards. So, first off, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Okay, so that doesn't fall. Alright, so first off is the Lifetime Achievement Award. This basically goes for all progress made in video games, from starting off as like being on giant brick machines to being stand-up arcades and having quarters pumped into them, to having save files, multiple save files, autosave, better audio, better visual, basically the progress of gaming over time in general since its humble beginnings. The Lifetime Achievement Award is for all games, just to show how much you have accomplished in such a relatively short span of time. Alright, now, while we will be covering stuff from the previous year, this next award is the Charles Dickens Award for Great Expectations of 2021. What games can we look forward to? Well, a whole lot. Like Hitman 3, which will be coming out later this month. There's also Horizon Zero Dawn, Journey to the West, Deathloop, and No More Heroes 3, just to name a few. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future releases for this year with great expectations, so I'm excited for that. Alright. And now we'll start here we go. So first off, the Podium Award. This is the award for Best Platform Game. Excuse me. I have to award it to 3 series that I felt best represented the platforming franchise. And those winners are Jak and Daxter, Ratchet & Clank, and Sly Cooper. Congratulations. Very good job. Now, next we have the Old School Legacy Award for Game Series. You never forget the old school and you remember where your origins are. And these games have been around since the beginning and they continue to keep producing games and games and games. And this is like for Mario, Metroid, Zelda. These series have been around since the beginning and the fan base keeps growing and everything about them just keeps growing and getting bigger and better. So it's cool for that. So we have the Old School Original Legacy. And with that, we then go to the next award, the Neo Legacy Award for the New Game Series. These are series that are relatively new in the whole course of games, but they seem to have left their mark and show no sign of slowing down. To name a few, there's like God of War, Halo, and Assassin's Creed. So yeah, these are series that are making their mark in the gaming world, just to name a few. And speaking of Assassin's Creed gets the Chapter by Chapter Award for Best Ongoing Story. This series picked up a good while ago. It started a good while ago and it is still going, like it started with Assassin's Creed. Then we got 2. Then we got 3. We got going away from numbers to names. Then we got back to numbers with names. And the series is just showing no sign of slowing down. So they get that award. Yeah, because the Assassin's Creed universe, it is such a huge... The world just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just get so involved with it and absorbed. And speaking of which, of the world, next that leads us to the Alice in Wonderland Award for getting sucked down the rabbit hole. For me, this award, I think best represented by Fallout 3. This was the Fallout 3 was the first Fallout game I ever played, and the world is immensely huge, and there's so much detail in everything. Story, characters, items, so yeah, it definitely has earned that award. Yeah, I mean, the world is huge, and the only thing that could be bigger than a world is a universe. And so we move on to the next award. The Part of a Bigger Universe Award for Best Games Adding to a Universe. And this is actually the title of a Marvel book, which, so both of these games are Marvels. First is Marvel's Avengers, the one that came out in the previous year, and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. These two added great to the Marvel universe, and especially from what they're working with, like Into the Spider-Verse, so that's pretty awesome. So yes, the next award is the Tune In Next Time Award for Best Episodic Game Production. Yeah, so games, it's pretty cool how you have like series, and then nowadays you have games that are episodic. So the studio that gets this award is Telltale Games because of all of their episodic work for like Back to the Future, Batman, Sam and Max, and my favorite, and kind of a favorite of mine because I enjoy the website, Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. Oh, and now that Flash has been dealt with, is no longer working properly, the Homestar site is going to have some changes to it. But hey, the Immortal Words of Strong Bad, this next award is, as Strong Bad calls it, Japanimation. So we give this the best JRPG. There's a lot of great JRPGs out there, and of course Final Fantasy having to be named in that category. But for me, the winners were Skies of Arcadia Legends. I loved that game. It is a great game. I highly recommend it if you ever get a chance to find it for GameCube. Find it, play it, get it. And the other one was the Dot Hack series. Oh yeah, the Dot Hack series, I loved it. It was great. It was the I think it was the start of the genre for the trapped in the game genre. And the game series itself, it was like a fake MMORPG. Which is pretty good because the next award on my list is Game Globally for Best MMO. So I have to give this award to two games. First off, it will go to the late great City of Heroes and City of Villains games. These games, it was great. It was like playing a giant comic book, but be a superhero, be a supervillain. It was great. This game lasted for so long, and here's the interesting fact. So it came out the same year as World of Warcraft. In fact, it was actually a few months before World of Warcraft came out. And while it's now dead and gone, World of Warcraft is still thriving. So, while I am a little sad, that City of is gone and kind of bitter and jealous that World of Warcraft is still around, to be fair, I will give World of Warcraft the best MMO award. Yeah, so I'm just sad NCSoft got rid of the game, so keep that name in mind, NCSoft. I will be talking about them later in this video. Don't get comfortable. Alright, so our next award is the No Money, No Problems Award for Best Free-to-Play. Now, this is going to be divided between, first off, the first few Assassin's Creed games that featured multiplayer. Now, when gaming first started, like, if you wanted to play online with other people, you had to pay, the online fee. But there was a few Assassin's Creed games that had multiplayer for free, and that was pretty fun, and I enjoyed it. I think, like, the most recent Assassin's Creed stuff, you now have to be on PlayStation Plus, but still, I like that. And right now, the other game that is getting this award that's free to play is Warframe. I haven't played it for a little while, but I just like Warframe, and it's cool to see how I keep seeing all these updates and changes that have happened to it over the years. So that's pretty awesome to see how it started off free. It's still going on and going strong. Next up is the Put Up Your Dukes Award for Best Fighting Game. And as a long time fan of Super Smash Bros., this game and this series gets that award. Now, it's always the quiet ones award goes to the best indie games. This goes to two different games. It goes to We Happy Few and Mighty Number 9. Both games were developed independently, and in fact, We Happy Few was actually backed on Kickstarter, so that's pretty cool. From having humble beginnings to becoming a full-blown game, that's pretty awesome. The next award is the Tickets to the Concert Award for Best Music Games. And there's a couple of these. There's Guitar Hero, there's Rock Band, No Straight Roads, and Brutal Legend! Brutal Legend. Now I mentioned that one last because this next award is called the... Surprise we got this award for Best Backstory of the Game Production. Brutal Legend, it actually was supposed to be like a Guitar Hero-like game, but then the project was dropped and bought up by Double Fine, who now had every legal right to own it, but then the predecessor was saying, no, it's ours. But they were like, but you guys stopped it, you dropped it, you sold it to us, so it's now legally ours. So we almost didn't get this game. Now, before we had video games, we had other games that we played with in real life. So we wanted to present a special Golden Controller Award, the Power of the Brick Award, to all Lego-based video games. I think Lego's done a pretty good job of like having video games based on some of the movies. Like there's Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, there's Lego Star Wars, there's even Lego Rock Band. So it's fun. That's pretty cool. And along with Lego's other toys have been taking part in video games. So there's the award for the Play in Both Worlds award goes to the Nintendo Amiibos. This is pretty cool. You get a little statue, has a chip in it, or a card, or a reader, and bam! Whatever you do in the game is affected by the thing on the outside. It kind of reminds me of like the opening of one of the Smash Brothers games where the statue is just still and then boom, comes to life. So that's pretty cool. I got the whole world in my hands! Award for Best Handheld Game. Before we had cell phones, we actually had the PlayStation Portable and Game Boys and the Game Boy Advance. Speaking of Advance, the winner for this award is Advanced Wars, Beautiful Joe Double Trouble, and the Phoenix Wright series. And since I'm using my phone, it is somewhat appropriate that I have to do this, so the Phone It In Award for Best Mobile Game goes to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and Marvel Strike Force. Yeah, both of these games are really good and fun, and I enjoy them. And it's a good thing I mentioned Marvel Strike Force because the next game award is the Social Network Award for Facebook Game. A while back there was a game called Marvel Avengers Alliance on Facebook, and I loved it. It was great. It was a team battle thing. You picked your team and you took on swarms of Marvel enemies. Now it has officially been removed from the Facebook website, which is kind of sad because this Marvel Cinematic Universe is still going strong. But I think if you look online, you can find the game and still be able to play it. So that's a cool thing. So since it's technically gone off of Facebook, then right now I'll give the award to all the Facebook games, like in general, because there's a large variety of them, from the classics like Scrabble and chess to like Jewel stuff or slot machines, you know, the whole 9 yards. Next up, the 90s Are the Best Award for Best Show to Game Series. In the 1990s, we got one of the greatest animated shows ever, Batman, the animated series. And how could this get any better? Oh, I don't know. The guy who wrote or directed the show, or both of them, he came up with the script for Batman Arkham Asylum, which is getting this award. And we got the Kevin Conroy as Batman and the Mark Hamill as the Joker. Yes, we actually got the 90s in. Love it. So you gotta love it. And speaking of TV shows, the Best Shoelaces for award goes to the Best Tie-In. It's a game that it ties into a TV show. Like you could plop the concept of this game into any episode and it would feel like it just flows along naturally. The best winners for this are South Park, Samurai Jack, and codename Kids Next Door, Operation Video Game. It's an oldie but a goodie. Now then, Now then, the TV is great, but what about the silver screen? So if you're going to have a bigger screen, you need bigger boots. And so the award for best movie tie-in games goes to Captain America, because we see at one point in the movie he's doing a montage of sabotaging Hydra's efforts, and this game feels like this would be in that montage. Not to mention it's also voiced by the people who worked on the film. And the other best tie-in would be for The Warriors. Rockstar Games released this in the early 2000s, and it's based on the 1979 film, so it's hit its 40th anniversary. And it's cool. It like gives the backstory leading up to the events of the film, so it's pretty cool how they have that all worked out. All right, first we're talking about shoelaces, then we're talking about boots, and now the best pair of boots award for the best reboot. This award goes to the Hitman franchise. Originally, yeah, it had a series of games, and then it started to do reboot. It had a reboot, and then it's doing the episodic thing. And I mention this because Hitman 3 will be out later this month, and according to the internet, IO Interactive, which has been working on this game franchise for about 20 years, will be stepping away from Hitman for a while. It's a little sad, but I guess they need some time to breathe, come up with new ideas, and who knows, hopefully when we come back to it, it'll be even better. But so, thank you IO Interactive for Hitman. Been enjoying it. Alright. Next, we have winter, spring, summer, and fall. And all those are the 4 seasons. Since we just had a reboot, we are now talking about the 4 reasons, as in remakes. So these are the 4 remakes that have happened over the last couple of years that have noteworthiness. First off, the retake of the year goes to Shadow of the Colossus. This game got remade twice for the PS3. First for the PS3 and then for the PS4. Now they didn't add. Now when the game was originally made, they had more Colossi, but they had to pare it down so much. I'm kind of surprised they didn't add more. But the cool thing is, A, the graphics improved. B, here's what. Here on YouTube is actually about a half-hour-long documentary about Shadow of the Colossus called The Last Secret. There's like a forum somewhere on the internet where everyone was documenting every detail, pointing out how, oh, this talks about this Colossus, oh, this is what the symbolism of this thing was. So apparently the team Ico was looking at this, and when they re-released the game, they included some special collection stuff for you to collect items, go to a specific place, and then get a cool item. So interesting retake on the Shadow of the Colossus. Alright, so they won the retake. The remake of the year goes to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. A nice classic nostalgia throwback to for me, the N64 era. Next, the re-fake of the year. This award, unfortunately, goes to Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1. Imagine when this game was originally released, it was on 3 discs. And then I watched Zero Punctuation's review of it, and he's like, wait a minute, we're not even all the way through the first disc, and that's when it cuts off. So I get we have advancements in technology to make the game play better, look better, sound better, and yet we did all this, and yet no one had the foresight to be like, well, even though we're doing all this cool stuff for the game, and it's been several years in development, we're not even going to have it be all the way through the first disc. We're not even going to have it the entire game, or at least half. Ugh, someone dropped the ball there. And then finally, the re-break of the year. There's a game called 13, spelled in Roman. Its title is Roman numerals XIII. Now I played the original 13 for the PlayStation, and it's based on a comic of the same name. And apparently the game got remade, and people were very upset by this, about how it looked, and even the people who were behind it, they issued an apology. So it's like, ooh, that's bad. It's real bad. Okay, so speaking of development, this next award is the Tardy to the Party Award for games with long development. The winners for this are Duke Nukem Forever and Kingdom Hearts 3. Seriously, both these games... Kingdom Hearts 3 took 13 years. Its predecessor, Kingdom Hearts 2, took 4 years. Something is not right here. It's like, okay, again, going back to Final Fantasy VII, it's like, what's going on over at Square? Okay. So going from games with long development time to people that actually are on the jump, we have the Quick Draw Award for Best Response to an Issue. When the game No Straight Roads came out, yeah, and I said No Straight Roads was part of the music awards also, yeah. When No Straight Roads came out, here we go. The game had a technical issue that people were quick to point out, and within 2 weeks, here's what I contacted them. I'm pretty sure everyone did, and within 2 weeks, the team at Metronomic Studios, they actually got the bug resolved. So, and this happened during the horrible last year. So even though the game had just been released, they were still able to get on the jump and fix that. So that's pretty cool. Which is why the New Kid on the Block Award for Best New Studio goes to Metronomic, because this was their first game, and like I said, when it came out, they didn't want this bug to happen, so it did, but they made sure to take care of it. Now you keep in mind how they got this done within 2 weeks, so that's kudos to them. So we'll circle back to that later, because now we're moving on to the derailed hype train for a game that fell flat on its face. Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I had this game on my winter holiday wish list, and I didn't get it, and I think that's kind of a good thing because hopefully they'll get it patched up. But this game apparently is so bad that they even removed it from the PlayStation Store. Now, there's some other games that had like a really, really rough opening week when they first came out. Let's see. According to the internet, everyone says Cyberpunk 2077 had so many bugs at launch, but here's some other games just to keep in mind. Elder Scrolls, Ark Survival, GTA, FIFA, Fight Night, UFC, Red Dead, Fallout, Call of Duty, Bioshock, Battlefront, Battlefield, The Outer Worlds, Minecraft, Fortnite, and PlayerUnknown Battleground. So yes, while they did make a mistake in rushing the release of this, well, I wouldn't say rushing because they've had plenty of time, and they even pushed it back just to troll some guy who asked when the release date was so he could get the day off. But hopefully they'll get patched up, because then hopefully they can win this award. The Comeback Kid Award for rocky start and then redeemed itself. This goes to No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, it came out 5 years ago, and it had about 5 years ago, and it had a rocky launch also. But Hello Games, they heard the feedback and they made the repairs as necessary, and the game then became really good. And then they kept adding more content for free. You got free updates, free patches, and everything just got better. The graphics, the controls, the story, characters, things you could do in-game. So it redeemed itself, so it has definitely earned the Comeback Kid Award. So hopefully at some point Cyberpunk 2077 will be along those lines also. And now, see, next we have the Bring It On Award for You versus the World. When you play the game, your job is to save the world from the forces of evil. But some games make it so like the odds are insurmountably stacked against you. But that's the cool thing, because if there's enough enemies in your way, no matter which way you're swinging your arms, you're always bound to hit someone. So this award goes to Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, One Piece Pirate Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, a lot of warriors in the title, the Dead Rising series, and Kingdom Hearts 2 when it was Sora versus the 1000 Heartless. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, thank you for sticking around. So now we're getting down to the final nitty and the gritty. First off, this is a non-award, so the Vaporware Award for Where Is This Game award goes to the following games. Excuse me. Half-Life 2 Episode 3, which will hopefully be leading into Portal 3. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Mark Echo's Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure, number 2. Beautiful Joe 3. And Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ha ha ha, wink. Yeah, so, as you can see, this lovely controller award is all yours for the taking for these great games that you've provided for us. Get to work. Okay. I'm not putting the gold controller back up because next we will now be covering the worst, and then we will cover the first. So the worst. So the Deflating Bounce Castle Award for biggest personal disappointment. Now, I didn't get Cyberpunk 2077, so I can't count that. And, well, I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII Remake, that was bad. For me, the biggest personal disappointment was Black Sad, Under the Skin. I'm a fan of the comic book. It's a mature film noir anthropomorphic comic. Very good, very well done. And I like the voice actor who does Jonathan Blacksad's voice. But the game was broken, and while No Straight Roads actually responded to a bug within 2 weeks of the game coming out, this game, it has had maybe 2 patches. Alright, so the game released, it had the day 1 patch, it then had 2 more patches, but still, the game is still not working. And yeah, like I said, No Straight Roads actually got the patch done during the crap previous year. This game is still busted, so to the people that worked on Black Sad Under the Skin, I hope you guys are okay. I hope you're not have to deal with the pandemic or any other problems, but please fix the game. I paid good money for this, and I'm hoping it works at some point. I want to be able to play it. I've been very patient, like especially with No Man's Sky, but I can only have my patience run for so long. Alright, so and another thing we're going to circle back to, the worst studio that doesn't get a funny intro award goes to NCSoft. Well, current NCSoft, because, look, they were good when they released City of Heroes and City of Villains, but when City of Heroes and Villains was being shut down, some shady information about the company was being brought into light. About what they did for some of their previous games, in fact, how there was even some... they forged the signature of one of their employees, so some underhanded stuff's been going on over there, so congratulations NCSoft, you're the best of the worst. Alright, so we go in from worst, back to first. So, here we are now, the moment we've been waiting for, the Big Three. And the awards for the best, who gets the golden controller? The award for Studio of the Year, this goes to Ubisoft! While the release dates were a little pushed around a little bit funny, I'm proud to give it the award to them for having both Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion, 2 great games in the year. So yeah, Ubisoft, congratulations, you are the Studio of the Year. There was a lot of tough competition, but way to go guys and gals. But wait, there's more! This award goes to the best DLC. An interesting thing, DLC actually predates the year 2000. Look it up. It surprised me, and I know it'll surprise you. So the best DLC is, I have to give this to 2 different games. First, the 2019 winner goes to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I didn't really do multiplayer that much, but given how bad last year was, that kind of opened the door for me. And the other winner is Legends of Tsushima. Especially the fact that you have the voice actor from Avatar, the second Uncle Iroh, and the second Aku doing the voice work. Very awesome. So yeah, that definitely was a big win. But it's a good thing I mentioned that, because now we move on to the Game of the Year. I am proud to announce that Ghost of Tsushima wins the Golden Controller for Best Game of the Year. There's some great games this year, it was great fun, but I remember seeing Ghost of Tsushima and I wanted to play it, and I have, and it is really fun. I genuinely enjoy it. I enjoy all the games, but this was something just new that I got to get my hands on and got to enjoy. And I really enjoyed it, and if you're a fan, I highly suggest you check it out. I did review the game, so check out my review, and like I said, this game's a definitive buy. The multiplayer is fun. Go play it and get it. And that's the lucky winner of the Golden Controller. Thank you for putting up with my nonsense and rambling for all these years and for how long this video's run. I know this is one of my long ones. I try not to do that too often, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And here's to another 10 years of entertaining you guys and gals. Like I said, thank you for those who, whether you recently subscribed, recently watched, or if you've been a long time watcher. Thank you. This concludes this year's Aperture Gaming Game Awards. We'll hopefully see you and get this done, hopefully, in December of 2021 and not January of 2022. So thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been Test Subject 1337 of Aperture Gaming saying thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a nice day and game on!